Hey everyone, Mr. Johnny here, back with a new draw along for you all. In celebration of Women's History Month, we're going to be drawing Wonder Woman. All you're going to need is a paper, pencil, and eraser. So go ahead and grab those things and let's dive in. Okay, Wonder Woman. This is a fun and simple one. And actually, Wonder Woman is one of my favorite superheroes. So we're going to start with a circle for the head, as we usually do. So a little tip on if you're trying to get a good circle going. So one thing that I try to do is, instead of just using my wrist to draw a circle like this, I'll lock my wrist in place and I'll actually use my whole arm to move around and make the circle. Okay. So what I also try to do is I'll do some practice circles just in the air, just to loosen up a little bit. And then when I'm feeling good, then I'll start pressing the paper on to the pencil. Now you want to start off light as usual, because along the way we're going to make a lot of mistakes and we're going to need to make a lot of corrections. So if you're drawing lightly, it's going to make everything just easier to erase. Now we got the circle for the head here, and going into the body, I'm going to start here. And I'm going to go down at an angle this way. So the side of the body is pretty much going to go straight into the leg and foot, like that. And then I'm going to come over here to this side and do the same thing. Try to find the same angle on this side as on this side. And you want to go down to about there. You don't have to go down too far. This is a kind of cartoonish version of Wonder Woman, or a simplified version, I should say. Now, once you get to here, to do the feet, you're gonna do it's kind of a rounded point, and then we're gonna come up to the center about there, and then just drop down here to the other side. Now this pose, it actually has several purposes. One of those purposes is she's standing in the classic superhero pose, right? Which, when you think of Wonder Woman, you usually think of her in this pose. But this pose is also, it's kind of more subtle, but it's in the shape of a star, which the star shape is a big part of her character design. And if you think about it, or if you look at it, we have 5 points in her pose that kind of simulate the shape of a star. Once I get the arms in here, you might see a little bit more of what I mean. But so what we're gonna do next is come in here and draw the hands. Just find a spot on the waist that you think would be good to place your hands, and they're gonna be really simple, just a circle. So we're gonna do 2 hands on the side of the waist. Try to keep them as even as you can. Again, we're not going for perfect here, but we want to get it pretty close to the same level. Okay, now to bring the arms in, I'm going to start here on the circle and then go out and around and land back here on the hand. And then on the inside part of the arm, I actually want to start here on the body, and then we're going to go out and in, and we just repeat the same thing on this side. So out and in, starting from the circle, and then on the inside part again, starting on the body, going out and in. So with this basic shape of the character, maybe you could see it a little bit more, that it's kind of like a star shape. So it's kind of simulating this shape here. Now, before we move on to the details, what I always like to do is add midline to the head. So we're gonna do vertical midline here, up and down, and then we're gonna do horizontal midline here, side to side. Okay. So to start with the details, we're gonna do the tiara first, and the tiara is gonna start just a little bit above the midline here. And I'm gonna go all the way across the head this way. And if you notice, I'm not using a straight line here. I'm putting a little bit of a curve to this line going all the way across. And to do the top part of the tiara, I'm gonna use the midline as my guide. I'm gonna start it here, and then I'm gonna curve down this way to the circle. And then the same thing going down to the other side here, just like that. To do the star, it could be a little bit tricky, but let me show you a little trick that I use to make it a little bit easier. Now, you might have seen stars drawn, say your teachers on your homework or something, or even drawn these kind of stars yourself. But if you start with the here on this end, and if you cut all the way across, go down here, up to the point, again, using this midline still as a guide for us for the center. We're gonna go down here and then connect and close the star there. So now we have this star shape that we need. But you also notice we have all these lines inside of the star, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna darken up the outside lines here on the star. Okay, and then once we have that in place, I'm gonna get in here with an eraser and just erase all the stuff on the inside. And once you get rid of all that, you could end up with a pretty clean star for the tiara. See, not too bad. Okay, so next we're gonna move on to the hair here. Again, starting in the midpoint, I'm gonna curve up and over, but I'm not going too far past the edge of this circle here. You don't need to make the hair too big. And I'm gonna stop this curve right here, about at the same level that the tiara is in. And go ahead and do the same for this side and stop about here. So once you get to this point, you're gonna notice there's another curve here, or like a puff shape coming out for the hair, the bottom part of the hair. To get that here, we're gonna go where the line is ended and just do another circle shape going out. And I like to keep the hair short, pretty short on this one. So I'm gonna stop it about here, top of the shoulder. We're gonna go on both sides. To be honest, I've done this drawing with a live group as well. And we tried it to see how it looks with long hair, going all the way down to the elbow and even the waist. But for me, I gotta admit, the short hair, the way it looks here, I like it the best. If you want, for your own drawing, you could experiment and see how you like it. Actually, that would be really cool if you experiment and see if you like it with short, middle, or long hair, just for yourself. But for me, this is how I like it. So I got rid of this circle part here, just so you could see the actual hair shape more clearly. And I'm going to come down here and add the ears. The ears are gonna start right on the midline here. And we're just gonna go out and around like a C shape. And the same thing here on this side. So from this point, I'm gonna darken up the circle here for the head. And when I'm darkening a part of the drawing, that's pretty much me locking it in. That's me saying that I know I'm not gonna erase this part or make any adjustments or corrections, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it dark and have it set as the final part of the drawing. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the facial features. And we're gonna start with the eyes, the eyebrows, in fact. What I like to do, I like this look for Wonder Woman where she has her eyebrows down like this, but also with this smirk on her face. For some reason, when I picture Wonder Woman, I picture her with this look, and it's like she's ready to battle, you know, like she enjoys to be in a battle. So this is the face I'm going with. If you want to change the expression in any way, feel free to. You can make her more serious, or you could give a more happy expression. That part is really up to you. And if you're trying to think of ideas on different kinds of expressions, you know, a good starting point is actually the emojis that you could use on your phone. They make a good starting point, and you could just use those for inspiration on what kind of facial expression you want to draw. I mean, not just for this character, but for any character. Okay, so we got the eyes in here, very simple. And then the smirk is gonna come here. You don't want to go too high because that'll make her chin look a lot bigger. So I'm gonna go about here. And just a half smile, a smirk. Okay. So moving on from there, we're gonna go to the arms. And here, I'm gonna go ahead and darken up the hands like this. And then we're gonna add her bracelets here. And I'm gonna darken up these lines here for the arm as well. Okay. Bracelets are a very important part of her outfit because they actually are one of her weapons. They're bulletproof. Okay, so she uses them, you know, to block when she's being shot at and all that. The tiara too is actually one of her weapons as well. She uses it like a boomerang. Okay, so we got the arms locked in place, bracelets in place. Next, we're gonna move to her outfit. Here, we're gonna come right underneath where the arm is connecting to the body. And then we're gonna go for, actually what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna draw a midline here on the body as well. This is gonna help us a lot to make this shape right here. So we're gonna start just up and down like the letter M. And again, I'm starting really lightly. That's because I wanna make sure that I get everything in the right place first before I decide that I really wanna lock it in. So I got the M shape here. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna do another one right underneath because we're getting these stripes going across her chest here. Another one there, and then I'm gonna do a final one right underneath that. Okay, and these, they look pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and darken them up, lock it in. Okay. And then we're gonna move down to the belt. So the belt, you could kind of choose how high or low you wanna put it. It really depends on how long you made your body and where you placed your arms. So what I advise is just to find a good spot that you think the hips would fall on. On mine, the hips would be about here, right where the hands are touching. And then we just go straight across here and here. With the belt, you can make it as wide or as thin as you want to. That part is really up to you. And then we're gonna go in here with the shorts. So we find the lower part of the hips, and the shorts are just gonna cut across this way. You wanna have that downward angle if you can. And then same thing here, just like that. And to finish it off with the final details, we're gonna go in here and draw the boots coming up and down, and then here as well, up and down. All right, so we have everything in place, but before we call it a finished drawing, the final step that we should do is give it one last look over and just clean everything up. Make sure all our lines are nice and clean here. And also what we want to do is just clean up any lines that we don't need. Okay, so I'm darkening up all this for the body. And we have these parts here. You see these lines that I left light here, these guidelines and all those things. Well, we don't need them anymore. So at this point, we could erase them. If you want to take your drawing past the sketching phase, you take the time to do this, you erase all these lines that we don't need. So here I'm erasing this line because this is where the arms are connecting to the body. So to make it all look like one piece, you could get rid of this line here. See that? Okay. But anyways, if you want to take this drawing past sketching level, you would erase all these. And then if you want to take it even further, you could even add color. You could trace the lines with either pen or marker. That will make your drawing look really clean. And you could even add other characters or background if you like. So what I'm basically trying to get at, long story short, is the drawing could just be the start. If you want to take it further and make it into a nice finished piece of artwork, you have so many options, all of which are the ones I just mentioned. Okay. As for me, I'm going to leave it at that as just a nice, simple Wonder Woman drawing. I hope you all enjoyed. Check the description below. We have an email in there that you could send these drawings into, and we would love to see them. We could even feature you on our website or social media if you send the pictures of your drawing in. So again, hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next draw along. Bye.